Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for Midnight Edge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for Midnight Edge in the morning.
Good morning, children. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land?
Look at you, handsome.
Try.
Wow,
I got shit to do, so I'm only going to be here for a short time.
Okay.
So I'm glad Paulie is here. How you doing?
I feel good, man. I'm doing well. Thanks, brother.
Glad to have you. And we also have Chris, so I'm glad he's here as well. How you doing,
You're
Chris?
glad I'm here too, man. That's wonderful. I
course.
really like this pattern under the collar thing you got going on, man. That's
I
neat.
can clean up.
It's nice.
I can play the part.
Oh, I see what's going on. It's
Yeah.
it's a design in the shirt.
Yeah, it's like the
You
lining.
open it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
For a second, I thought it was like a low ascot or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
he could pull the ascot perfectly.
You should do an ascot, bro.
You should shave if you ever do an ascot, though. Maybe just do chops.
I've been thinking about just leaving the mustache, but I'd probably look like a math teacher.
No,
Yeah.
he looks good. He looks good. Yeah. Jaime Escalante, Minnesota style.
Why does everybody think I'm
cool.
from Minnesota? It's Wisconsin.
Same
Minnesota
thing.
is gay. Okay?
Uh-oh.
I
Here we
hate
go with
Minnesota.
Chat. I'm gonna blow the
It
chat up.
sucks. I don't care. And people who from Minnesota know Minnesota sucks.
Oh no.
That is so incredibly signed that it's full of Norwegians, because there you have that rivalry that we have between Norway and Sweden. Like no one else can tell the difference. I mean, from everyone else, Wisconsin and whatever the hell, Minnesota is same.
We're the
same
Czech
rival,
capital.
basically. Yeah.
We're the Czech capital, so yeah.
Yeah, but
go figure.
but for everyone there, it's very, very, very important to make sure that they distinguish the differences. Like, for instance, a Norwegian abroad will take great care that you know that he is Norwegian and definitely not Swedish. Although
Well-
from anyone outside, it's same difference.
Wolf Dog is right. Wisconsin does suck, just not as much as Minnesota. See, that's the thing.
I just never been up in that part of the country. I've been to
It's
Chicago.
cold. I want to leave. We
Yeah.
had 70 degrees the other day. Now it's blustery and they're threatening us with more snow. And I'm like, fuck you, Wisconsin. Fuck your weather. You can shove it up your ass. Because just like Andre said, all these Scandinavian motherfuckers came over here and they're like, it is too hot down here. Let's go north. Oh, this reminds us of home. Why we left in the first place. Let's settle here. Although it's much shittier and it doesn't look as pretty. Like, that's the thing, basically. It's like, look,
Pretty much.
why did you guys come here?
You're kind of right.
It's
Yeah.
not as good.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of Norwegian settlers. They grew homesick on the way. I mean, they decided to leave the shithole they came from, and but somewhere across the weeks in the boat across the pond, they grew homesick, and the rest is history.
Yeah. And then there's just some idiot Irish who are just like, let's see what's going on up there, diddly potatoes. And we're like, shit. So then I came out. But anyway, we also have Andre, speaking of Scandinavians and all those sorts. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here with all of you gentlemen. Looking fresh and dandy today, all of you.
You're right, D. Bud Martin. Minnesota is sort of like Finland with all the lakes, just not as pretty. Minnesota is ugly. Like, it is nothing but just like dead trees and dry land and snow.
Never
It's
been.
just- no,
Never
and
been.
the roads are shit.
Do we know what part of the country you're in, Chris? Or is that
Yeah,
like
well, I'm in
incognito?
Tennessee.
You're in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, like I'm actually touching Georgia and Alabama, kind of, but I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So
I've
I'm
never
just
been in that part either.
that's beautiful.
I
It's
hear,
really
I hear.
we actually are one of the top 10 outdoor destinations in the US. We have whitewater rafting, kayaking, hiking.
I don't
I
like
love
doing
your
any of that
song.
shit. Just playing.
Arrested Development. Good song.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. I'm
Yeah.
sporting I'm old Tim Pool today is what I am. An old Tim Pool. My hair was messed up, so
Well, so is Tim Pools. So
it's just
so-
yeah, it's just cold here.
Oh shit! All right, well, let's say good hello to everybody in the chat. We got Barry the Music Man. I see War Monkey over on the Rumble side. D-Bud is here, of course. King Kane Rumsky. Did I say that right? Rumsky.
Rumsky.
Yes. Then we got Tom H in the house. Hyper Guyver's here. So many regulars. Hit that like button. Share out the link. Let everybody know we are live. And remember, next Monday,
Yes.
we are going back to the classic schedule. So that means 11 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Pacific. We will be live.
Noon
I believe
Eastern.
that would be noon Eastern. Yep, thank you.
So
and
if
then I
you
think it's
thought
like
we
10
were an hour
Mountain.
late today,
No.
we're going
We're
to
an
be 2
hour
hours
early.
late next week from now on.
Speaking of Kentucky and Barry the Music Man, that's where Barry lives. Hail, Barry the Music Man.
Oh yes, Kentucky.
I
and
love the
Barry the
South.
Music Man's got the right avatar for today's topic.
It's a beauty. It's a
I
beauty.
haven't traveled that part of the South. I've done, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia,
Florida?
Atlanta. Fantastic. I love,
Yeah.
I love our. I absolutely love our country as a whole. Like just all the different people and the terrain. It's just awesome.
Yeah. It's
It's nice.
quite
My
a
in-laws
country.
live on the Gulf of America down in Fort Walton Beach.
Gulf of Mexico. What?
Just triggered
Cabron.
you.
Don't
Just
start
triggered.
with me.
The end of the earth.
You ever been to Nashville, Paulie?
I have not. I told you I haven't been to Tennessee.
I think you would love it. Yeah, you should check out Nashville if you
I haven't
come.
been to
If
Nashville, but
any
I've
of you
seen the
guys come to
movie.
Tennessee, I don't mean chat. Love the chat, but if any of you guys come to Tennessee, let me know. We'll try to hook up.
Oh, you hear that?
Wow.
He's a married man.
For a brewski or something.
Doesn't mean
That's
shit, Polly.
Hey, what kind of society would we come in?
or a coffee.
Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle's in the house, and he says, "Hail, panel and chat. Thank you for the $1.99. We appreciate that." M. Miller sends in his member chat for 20 months. It says, "Whovians rejoice. There's finally good news that not one, but 2 whole intact episodes of famous Daleks Master have been found." Now, is this
awesome.
part of that discovery most recently that they said, yes, we got a bunch of episodes. A lot of them are ones we already have, but there might be a few in there that we don't. And is this all they found was 2? Or is this something different?
Well,
Somebody
2
let me know.
intact episodes is big news, especially
It is.
Doctor Who fans.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if this was out of that one special
think it
haul.
I mean,
is.
that's fewer episodes you have to remake in whole with AI later on. So yeah.
And with
much.
AI today, they're going to be able to clean those up beautifully. Just don't
Absolutely.
overdo it like the I Love Lucy stuff, please.
Yeah. And then we've got Ruby who gifted a membership. Thank you, Ruby Who. And then Barry the Music Man sent in a super sticker for 99 cents. Thank you for that. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
very nice.
Yeah.
Nice image.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pertinent
It's perfect
to
for
the-
this
to the main
morning.
topic here.
Yeah. And then Jason Webster says, breaking news. Kohuho? Did I say that right? Totally dominated the 49th Japanese Academy Film Prize, winning 10 honors, including Best Film and Best Director.
Wow.
Congrats.
Cool.
Kohuho. Did I say that right?
Well, that sounds
the-
like that sounds like a Japanese movie to check out, other than just Godzilla minus 1, 2.
Or
So,
minus 0.
Academy Awards on
one.
Sunday. Big day.
Boo.
Oh, is it
Rachel
already?
Zegler will win.
It is Sunday.
Nobody gives a shit because Sinners is going to win everything. And I'm just
No,
going to
no,
fuck
no.
Sinners.
Another battle.
No. Oh,
Man,
God.
I mean,
Don't.
guys, come
don't.
on. This is Hollywood.
Sinners is going to win.
I would be so happy if F1 just comes out of nowhere and just
That would be
best
hilarious.
picture, because they all know it's the best picture. Out of those that they selected, it's the best picture.
That
Which
would be
one?
a huge upset if F1
F1.
won.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
Amazing
Because
movie.
they want Sinners or the one that you just mentioned, the Leo one. I guarantee you,
Yeah.
Sinners is going to walk away with most of the prizes. You might be right that the Leo movie wins Best Picture.
Please,
I
no.
can see that.
I
But
told you months
Sinners
ago
will
it
sweep the
would.
rest. Sinners
No.
will sweep the rest, though.
I think Chalamet's going to probably get Marty Supreme. What do you guys think? Or for Best Actor?
Well, that depends
Maybe.
on when voting was, because didn't he say
Right.
something that had a lot of people offended, like he trash talked like musicals or opera or theater
Opera
or
and ballet.
something like that?
And ballet.
But the other thing is
Ballet,
Michael B.
okay,
Jordan plays 2 roles in Sinners, so he's gonna win.
He's got it. Yeah.
But
He's
got
gonna
a
win.
he's got a great dribble off the Michael B. Jordan. Oh.
Yeah, not that Michael Jordan. Yeah, the less talented one.
The voting for Best Actor that closed way before
But not the
and-
star of Space Jam.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think any of Michael B. Jordan's movies have made as much money as Space Jam have.
Yeah. You know what would be funny is that if Chalamet knew, like, okay, the voting's done, now I'm gonna start some shit.
Fuck you,
He doesn't care, man.
fuckers.
Yeah.
No,
You know.
yeah, no, he's like he's got like this Johnny Depp kind of thing going for him, where he just doesn't give a fuck, and that works.
He's living his best life right now.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And then Jason Webster follows that up with 49th Academy Film Prize. Kahuho got 10. Demon
Wow.
Slayer Infinite Castle 1. Tokyo Taxi 1. And Nightflower 1. At least I could say those names.
You did really good.
Kahuho, though?
I've only seen one movie of those.
Holy shit, holy, look at this shit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, here he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Rod Thunderheart, coming in big with Canadian 100. It still spends the same.
He's got his book, his novel. See Through
That's
Love.
right.
See
Check
Through
out
Love.
See Through Love. That's right.
Yeah,
Rod
really
Thunderhouse throwing in 100 smackaroos this morning. Thank you, good sir.
Yes,
Says,
thank you.
I know it's in our nature to cut a guy some slack. Give him the benefit of the doubt, like maybe he was confused or just joking, or really just needed a double-double. But this isn't that guy. Those aren't those people, and those aren't the Rockies. They love a lot.
They
And
make
then he
a
comes in again with another 100.
What?
They make a lot of mistakes.
He goes, those are a lot of mistakes. They mistake our modesty for meekness, our kindness for consent, our nation for another star on our flag, and our love of hot cheesy poutine with their love of hot cheesy poutine. Putin. Sorry, I fucked that up. They think they bully us, threaten us, and push us around.
Whoa.
And then I think there's one more coming. But are you guys under a threat right now from Russia? Is that what's going on? What's up? That's what it sounds like. Rod's ready to kick Putin's ass. Like, big time.
I think that was it. 2 out of 2.
I think that's it. So there we go. Okay. Wow. Is there something going on right now between Russia and Canada that I'm not aware of?
Dude, I'm not Canadian. Where are the Canadians when you need them?
Well, did like Trump threaten to take over Canada again or something?
We might as well buy them.
I can't keep up with that.
They're like USA 2. They're just a sequel. Not as good as the first.
Some say they are, but they're not.
Some say they are a little bit bigger, but not as much going on. Same kind of plot.
Could it also be that Canada has finally had enough of having the Olympics hockey loss shoved in their face?
Oh.
There's and then there's Canada versus
yeah. That makes
versus
sense.
the World Baseball Classic. They advanced, and
Yeah, revenge for the ice hockey.
Okay.
Yeah. Do
America's
not
playing
underestimate the
tonight.
Canadians.
Is it America versus Canada?
Oh shit.
I think it is. Let me double check.
Oh shit. That's
See, we figured it out. We cracked the code.
Pilgrim Media is here, and he says, "We were young and older women. The Kiss concert, 1975, Cumberland County, North Carolina. She jumped me. Life is good."
Well, that's probably
I
because you
think
were wearing
what
Gene
he's saying-
Simmons makeup or something.
Okay, so 1975, Pilgrim Media went to a Kiss concert and got laid by an older woman. That's what he's trying to say.
My man.
Yeah.
My
Was
man.
it Shannon Tweed?
Ooh.
You
So
should see. I love the look on her face whenever Jean starts talking about the other women. She gets just so pissy about it. But
so
it's
America
like, woman,
is
you've had plenty of dick. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Well,
Team
when you
USA
marry,
versus Canada tonight. World
That's-
Baseball Classic.
that's gonna be fucking.
there you
wild.
go. See, we cracked the code. Even if we do
Yeah.
not have a Canadian represented today, lots of love to Mr. Chato. We were still
Yeah.
able to crack the code. We figured it out. It was all about sports and taking revenge over the ice hockey thing.
But I don't know if Rod is. I think Rod's talking about Alberta because Alberta wants to secede.
That's right.
So there's a lot of stuff going on over there.
So,
I don't know,
succeed
Rod.
to where? To become an independent
They want an
nation, the
independent-
independent state
Us.
of Alberta, or to become? I mean, like what's the like this Balkan Canadian edition?
I think they want to have options.
They want to be courted.
They want to break up with Canada.
They want to
So
see other people and be polyamorous.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
it, Tom. They just
Yeah.
want to see
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
That's when you know the relationship's over, right? When she says, "Hey,
I mean,
can we
I
see
could
other
get a
people?"
Canadian on here really quick, but we'd have to like then they'd overstay their welcome.
Well, we have other topics to talk about. I think
We do.
we
Like
can
Dark
get
King.
back to the
Super
Balkanization of Canada in due course when we have our
I mean-
resident Canadian back again.
And then Dark King says Poutine is inferior to the awesome Australian HSP. What is HSP?
Well, I imagine it's Australian poutine. I mean, is it kangaroo meat in it or something? I don't know.
I mean, oh, here comes Rod again. Whoa. Here's this third one.
I don't know what Australian HSP is, but holy crap.
It sounds like a venereal disease, honestly.
I think it's a halal snack pack.
Told you there was a third part to this. He was working on it.
Yeah.
He says 2 more are coming. All right, so we
It's
got,
a charity, I think.
yeah. Rod sending in another 100 Canadian says, but they do not know us. They artificially drawn line they keep talking about, not artificial, and it's not on a map. It's right there. That's artificially drawn line they keep talking about, not artificial, and it's not on a map. It's right there. This is the land.
Wow.
Okay, so then now it's starting to sound like the Independent People's Republic of Alberta.
I mean,
they're doing that in Spain as well, where you have like several of the communities wanting to break free and go independent.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the map is changing a lot these days. I mean, you now have the Gulf of America. Pretty soon, you'll also be having the Strait of America around Iran, right? So,
Yeah.
Andre, you really disappoint me by saying that, man.
Well, I just said you had it. I didn't say I
Gulf of
agreed with it.
Mexico, man.
It's pretty big in Alberta because
We get no respect, bro.
no, we love you, man.
Yeah.
Look, the
Alberta
Mexicans
1
had a
and
chance to
4.
keep it. They're like, do you want the Gulf of Mexico? And they're like, we don't play golf, I say.
Stupid.
They 1
that's
in 4
funny, though.
Albertans want to separate. There's a huge separatist movement up there. It's huge.
You know, there's a channel called Nat and the Guy, and they're from Canada. They live in Mexico City now.
Hmm.
Real conservative, really cool people. The way they break down the news, and they've been hitting this Alberta thing big time hard, and so like they're really blowing up with their channel because they've been doing live stuff just on this. This is a huge thing.
Wow. Yeah,
Shout
it's
out
the first
Nat.
I hear about it, but yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess so. Yeah. Wow.
No, this is like a huge thing.
It's happening.
And it's not even Trump's fault. I mean, that's probably why I haven't heard about it. The media is too busy writing about. Yeah, but I'll save it for RNN.
Well, it's global politics. It might be something worth mentioning on a global politics angle, but it is a big deal. They're pissed off. The problem, I think, is Alberta puts out oil and is such a massive resource contributing to federal revenues, but they're not getting sort of an equitable benefit in return. At least that's what they've determined. So,
Well, that's the same deal that you have in Spain. Like the
Massive.
bits that want to leave there are the ones that really get screwed over tax wise, and they get
Hmm.
very little left for it. They're like, fuck this, we're out. At least they want to be. Haven't worked out quite yet, though. But yeah, well, interesting. I had no idea. Why in Canada is certainly big enough.
Does the Basque still have problems there? Do we with Spain, the Basque region?
I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about the Basque. Personally, I'm amazed that the Spanish tolerated the Basque for as long as they did. But I think that as far as I know, the Basque have like calmed down. I don't know if they gave up or they just grew old or whatever. But no, I was surprised with how unbelievably well the Basque were tolerated. I don't know what the hell they were complaining about. I mean, they have like their own autonomous communities. Granted, it's not a nation, but where they can do what they want, do all this Basque stuff that they want, and in Spain they're accepted as fellow Spanish people. You would have thought ETA would have prevented that from happening, but no. So kudos to the Spanish for being as genuinely inclusive of the Basque as they are.
I know a Canadian Basque Spanish person. I kid you not.
That's quite a mix right there.
We can have him on anytime, and he's a huge nerd.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, really good guy. Even if he is a Montreal Expos fan.
Oh, you can't have everything. But meanwhile, Rod Thunderhot continues. He sent another 100 Canadian dollars saying that Tehran, that God song about, this is the birthplace of peanut butter and ketchup chips and yoga pants. It is the land of universal healthcare and the bench-clearing brawl of innovation and optimism and getting her done. This is the land of the peacekeeper and he continues for another 50 Canadian dollars, and the Shawnigan handshake. Are we perfect? No, but we are not. The 51st anything. We are the first to unite in a crisis, the first to build bridges, not walls, and the first to stand on God for thee. My name is Rod Thunderhot, and we are Canadian. That was beautiful, and I salute Canada, my fellow brethren of the
cap
North.
box is on. I'm not sure. It looks.
Yeah, and as was also pointed out here by Pilgrim Media, this episode has been brought to you by Rod Thunderhot. This is very, very true, and we thank you for the.
The chat's on fire today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Can you imagine? So yeah, that is brilliant. But yeah,
I like people speaking out
Canada
about this. You know, yeah.
Grimsilla points out Alberta is the 4th biggest producer of oil.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so
huge.
That's
it's huge.
Plenty of reason right there to celebrate Canada. And then we also have Mech, who says for $5, you have most of Washington state wanting to join Idaho and much of Virginia joining West Virginia. This is where we're at. Yeah, that I actually have heard about before. I don't know why anyone would have any problems with that.
It's like an open relationship, all these people wanting to.
Indeed. But let's run through a few more of these super chats, and then we are going to get into the main topic at hand here, because we do have a bit to talk about. I'm just going to clear through the super chats here. We got this one. We got this one. Miller points out, Iger the failure leaves on Wednesday. Yeah, well, we shall see how long he's gone and if he really goes away. But yeah, he left in a relative hurry, not as quickly as last time around. But hey, so yeah, Iger, we thank you for your
Sir Iger. Okay.
Sir Iger, indeed. Are you excited for Iger 2.0 to take over?
Disney's dead. I mean, we'll see. You know, I'm not. Maybe the theme parks will get better under this new guy.
Yeah. Something else that is over now is the season 1 of Star Trek Academy. To wit, Miller also says for 14 South African rands. First episode into Academy, porn parodies got better writing. and probably better acting too. So yeah,
Yeah. And better looking, perhaps.
yeah. Indeed. And then Dark King says HSP is halal snack pack. Look it up. And
I
be
thought so.
hungry.
Yeah. I said that.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dark King.
indeed. Indeed. And then Adam Wofford says for $5, breaking news. Trump has appointed Grand Admiral Thrawn to lead the Carrier Strike Group in the Persian Gulf. That's Gulf of America to you. It should be over by this afternoon. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we should give a couple of weeks before we start judging. And then we have a couple of ones for Polly. We'll get over to those. And then we had Pilgrim Media also pointed out, same thing with Flanders and the French in Belgium that also wants independence.
Ooh, I have heard
it's
about this. Yeah.
balkanization of everything. And Millard says, can we take a moment to laugh? Iran really did send a literal cardboard cutout to be sworn allegiance to. Yeah, fun, fantastic stuff. I haven't been able to pay too much attention to it, but yeah, I believe this was the son of the previous Ayatollah who was down for the count because I meant to say, because he already had a lead leg blown off or something by the time he was sworn in.
Yep.
So they used a replica. Yeah, fantastic stuff.
And the replica literally is just a color image of his head and a cardboard cutout of the body. They brought it out, set it on the stage. I dropped a link if you care. It's crazy time. So maybe he's just scared he's going to get shot. Literally, I would be. I mean, 17 of the other people have already been killed. So. And this guy, actually, his father, who was first killed and was the Khomeini, had publicly said he didn't want his son to take over. So who knows who hates that guy? So it's humorous, it's sad, it's weird. We live in interesting times.
I think we'll see in 2-3 weeks. We'll see how this is going to pan out.
Yeah.
We'll know more inside of a month. But let's give them. That long to see how this is. How this
2 weeks to slow the spread. Yeah,
indeed. And Barry the Music Man said for $2, have Paulie show off my full kiss photo. Hail all.
Yeah. I mean, he sent me some photos of him with you could see right there in his icon.
Yeah, we see it.
Know? So thanks, Barry.
Now that's Chris and Paul that he's with in that photo. So you got a photo of him with Gene?
I think he got a photo with them all, and then he also was he used to do a lot of drawing and Barry the Music Man. So he sent me an artistic rendering of all of them that he did years ago. He's actually really good. You need to get back into drawing, Barry. It was really good.
Oh, nice. Very
Follow
cool.
Barry the Music Man.
Indeed. So yeah, and with that, we are going to get into the first main topic of today, which does have some connection to Kiss, which is why they're in the thumbnail, because Gene Simmons says it's time for Mark Ruffalo and Ben Stiller to shut their pie hole about politics. Now, this is a story from that Park Place, which reads, Gene Simmons had some blunt words for celebrities like Ben Stiller and Mark Ruffalo, who engage in political commentary. It's time for everybody in the entertainment industry to shut their pie hole and just do your art, Simmons said. Nobody cares what you think. I don't. I can't really disagree with that. And then there's another quote here. People work hard for a living, and they don't want to be lectured by people who live in mansions and drive Rolls Royces. It's time to shut up. And I do have to say, I think that this is the absolute right message. And it's one that I kind of wish that more people of fame and with a platform would have used much earlier, because we have now had a decade of people, entertainers, who are very good at what they do, and very few of us, if any, could do what they do, which is to pretend for a living with some charm and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not knocking it. It takes skill, it takes talent, but it means that you are an expert in that field, and I'm sure there obviously are some exceptions, but more often than not, you have people who are very skilled in that particular era or area, deign to lecture everyone else on matters on which they're not qualified to have an opinion, to the detriment of not just themselves, but all of Hollywood. And finally, someone other than Ricky Gervais is just telling them to just stick to what you are good at. We don't need you to do everything else. I mean, Paulie, you're surrounded by actors. I mean, you agree with what Gene Simmons is doing here? Is this something we should have seen more of for a long time? And most importantly, is Mark Ruffalo and Ben Stiller going to take heed of what the demon from Kiss is saying to them?
This has been happening for a while. You know, I got asked why are kind of like the younger actors such activists, and my short answer is like, well, that's really what's been kind of, we've been fostered the last 20 years. You know, Hollywood's always been progressive, but as far as like the fostering in social media, you're just ramped up the last 10, 15 years of everyone using their platforms and not being silent. And so, you know, you're seeing the cost of some of these careers when you're mouthing off too much. I will, you know, here's the tightrope, right? Is that you of course we want freedom of speech, freedom of expression, but what's your first job? Your first job is to entertain. Iñaki Godoy, who's back as Luffy, brings so much joy and passion to his role in One Piece. The guy learned Japanese so he can speak to a whole different country where One Piece is from. I would argue to say that Iñaki and what he does and what he brings to fans unites us far more than any of these bozos in any of the things that they have said the last 10 years. You unite, you make people happier just by highly entertaining people. It's like that's become such a secondary thing to actors. Now, that being said, I don't know if they're going to take his advice, especially until with Trump still in office, because they have such a hate boner for the president. So I don't see that dying. I mean, these guys there's just a lot of delusion as well as to, pick a topic. It's just delusion 101. It's not based in a real reality like we're in. It's based in the reality of the super elite and the super entitled. So, and the other edge of it is that if you don't ask them political questions, they won't say political stuff for the most part. I mean, Mark Ruffalo is your outlier. That guy's always just going to say anything political.
Well, he wants to be Robert De Niro, doesn't he?
Right. But the majority of actors, well, they're on the red carpets. They're not, you don't ask them political questions, they're not going to say political stuff. I guarantee you. So a lot of this too is to blame is the bozo Hollywood media.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we've all seen how they're on the red carpet looking to bait the cast into say something they can make a huge headline out of.
Yeah. So, it was interesting because Rachel Ziegler just did an interview on Harper's Bazaar's UK because she's doing she actually has another musical. It's a limited run in London, but that's why she's talking to press. And what are they gonna, what's the first things they're gonna ask her about is the Snow White controversy, is this controversy, is that controversy. And I had talked about it, and I got a comment. Well, why can't you just tell those media people, I'm not going to talk about this, I'm not going to talk about that? And I just said they wouldn't interview her then.
Yeah.
They don't care about her musical. They want the the drama, right? And it's like, okay, so if you notice, she did answer all that stuff, talked about all that garbage. And she was trying to talk about how she would have been wiser about the things that she has tweeted in the past. But it all leads with Snow White drama. And I guess again, that's an example of you need the devil sometimes there.
Indeed. Yeah. Well, that's what clearly what they are interested in.
She needs a handler. Somebody needs to, because she admitted no fault. She has no accountability. She was out there posting, no, I'm not going to bleach my skin for the role. I mean, she was trolling from the get-go on that. The girl is either an egotist or a narcissist. She has no concept of why there was any backlash. And it was her. It was her cocky smugness. That's all. She could have been very sweet. She could have been a very popular princess. What do you mean?
That's well, you're saying it's all this one-sided thing, right?
It's not all on her.
It's actually
no. I do think that. I think she could have handled it with more poise and graciousness rather than trolling.
Right, but I'm using an example that you brought up. Where when she got cast as Snow White, there is an immediate backlash. Snow brown, shit brown, right? Those are the receipts. Then she says, I'm not, whatever haters, I'm not gonna bleach my skin. She's got attitude. Absolutely. She's got moxie. I'm not saying she doesn't, but you're saying like she did this out of nowhere. That's not that's just
and let's be clear here. That's not what landed her in hot water with Disney. Far from it. All of that was by design. And as I've also maintained, when she's talking about weird, that's not on her. That's talking points straight from Disney. So this is like why the issue that fans had with her, and that's kind of like the irony that the issue that fans have with her are what she said. Of course, you can make comments about her delivery, but her words were talking points straight from Disney. What Disney has an issue with, why she was fired from them, was her activism for Palestine. Those two very, very different things there.
That's what I mean.
That's
she just spouts off things without any second thought about how it's going to, what kind of red meat it's going to cause out there.
I'm
sure she got racist backlash. Of course she did. But does anyone here think that Disney did not expect that? That Disney did not at least kind of help her navigate what they knew was coming?
But not only that, they counted on it. I mean, that was part of the program.
What this was. Yeah. So, this is okay. I shouldn't say it's all her fault. I really think it's all Disney's fault.
Well, no. I just use that example when she got cast, and people are like, "Oh, I can't believe Polly's bringing up the racist thing." I didn't bring it up. I'm just pointing it out, guys.
Yeah, that happened. Layoff Polly. That happened
when she got cast. I went live with Robert Martin Burnett and Lorena Creo, and we talked about these instant backlash of shit brown, snow brown, all that stuff. Right? That's one thing. What Chris is talking about in regards to her in the listen, she's a mess. I'm not saying that she's not.
No, she just needs a handler.
I'm not saying she's not, right? When she just didn't learn her lesson, and she's now paying for it, guys.
Yeah.
And
Well,
listen, I've said this, and I've covered this so much on my channel, in regards to where Ziegler's at, because when she doubled down, like you said, and she literally said, if you don't like my politics, if you voted for the other guy, take your business somewhere else.
Yeah.
What do you think people did? They took
Yep.
their business someone else.
Yep.
Yeah.
The executive producer of Snow White flew over and said, "Hey, can you take this down? We are promoting our movie, man."
Yep.
She said, "No."
No.
She hasn't worked since.
No.
Yeah.
That's
right.
not
No.
that's not their fault. That's all on her.
Yeah.
And she's now learning. All I'm saying is, in the recent interview, right? You could say, "Oh, she didn't learn this. Oh, she didn't learn that." It's like, nah. Look what she said. Right? Lesson learned. I probably shouldn't have done that. For that to even been printed, it's probably a little too late. She probably just needs to still go away. But no one's hiring her, guys.
Yeah.
People are saying, "Oh, she's got 4 projects." She doesn't have 4 films. She has 1 indie film. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We give a lot. We give celebrities with their opinions, like what James Simmons is saying, a lot of leeway, because if they're likable, right? Like a Jenna Ortega.
Let me say this. No, Jenna
Yeah.
Ortega's a masterclass in it. I think that Gene, and it doesn't look like Park Place got into it, but Gene reminds me of, he's just an angry old man. It's not that I disagree with him, but this is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, screw your freedoms. I remember when Gene was bashing anybody that didn't want to get the vaccinations. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
The things he was saying back then were totally ugly. I mean, it was like, what in the world? This is Gene Simmons saying this?
But see, that
so,
goes back
so he's
to
batting 500. He is saying
Well-
something that the people that he lost when he said that stuff, because he said, if you're walking among us unvaccinated, you're the enemy. This is what he was saying back in, I guess it was 2021 or so, back when the vaccines had just come out. And he was comparing it to running through a red light, smoking in a building. You don't have the right to get anybody infected. That's what he said. Now we were all under a big psyop back then, I believe, but it pissed a lot of people off. It just like when Schwarzenegger said, screw your freedoms. And of course he was apologizing for that. Maybe a couple of years later, 2023, I think he was saying something in Men's Health or on CNN or whatever. But I feel like, I'm not sure if Gene is really rehabbing his reputation the way maybe Arnold had to do, but because Gene does just kind of shoot from the hip and say what he thinks. He's almost kind of like a Donald Trump figure in that way, but he's batting 500. I liked what he said. Don't get me wrong, but it's not, I mean,
But
obviously, like you said, Paulie, they're not going to follow his advice. Trump's still in office.
But see, here's the hypocrisy, right? Is that should celebrities have their opinions and say them, or is it only when we agree with them that it's okay? See,
Right.
that's hypocrisy, right?
No, I believe in
It's
free
like
speech.
Gina
I'm just saying
Carano.
we shouldn't lift him up like he's our hero or anything. He's batting 500. That's fine. This kind of dialogue ought to take place, but he ought to be able to say whatever he wants. What he's saying here is TMZ, I think, got up in his face and asked him some questions. This also happened about, who does he vote for? And he's like, I'm not going to tell you who I vote for. Right. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
It's private.
We know what's good about this is that it's another celebrity, whatever, not being silent.
Yeah.
That is important. That you just need more of that, because then it's going to make more kind of like the regular, people are kind of in the middle of the road, just feel not so, scared to either voice their opinion or just, hey, I'm just here to work, guys. I'm just here to act, to where when even Neil Patrick Harris, a couple other celebrities have said that the last couple of months, they got attacked.
Yeah, you're right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Damned if you do, damned if you, but that's all on Hollywood and what they've bred in regards to this environment where it's like you have to You have to bow
Pick a
down. You
side.
have to have these opinions,
Yeah.
or you're out.
Yeah. Well, because the media, like you even said, you know, they're asking Rachel Zegler. They're not talking about Evita or any of her plays. They want to know about that Snow White controversy.
That's all I'm saying. That's why I brought it up. As far as
Yeah.
the media,
Yeah. Right.
no one cares about her next musical that's running for, and she's not going to get the cover of here unless she talks about the drama. She just doesn't have that type of pull. And honestly, she's, you know, they're trying to rework her character, her image to Hollywood, so Hollywood can hire again. I don't think that's going to happen for a while, and it's not because of the people in the chat that
No.
hate her. It's
No, no.
because she pissed off the wrong Jewish people.
She pissed off
in
the
Hollywood.
studio.
Let's be honest. She pissed off the wrong Jewish people in Hollywood.
Well, when she bashed Palestine and then refused to pull it down, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, she
Yeah,
was kind of
that's-
even kind of trolling or attacking Gal Gadot, who is
Yeah, that did not help. That did
No.
not help. Because
Well, it
yeah,
was- it
that's
just
why
started
she's
showing a
canceled by
pattern.
Hollywood.
Yeah, it just started showing a pattern. You know, but on the other hand, while I do like that Gene said this, what did we have just last week? Was it, I think, when Ben Stiller was telling the White House to take down some clip from Tropic Thunder saying war is not propaganda. And that's rich coming from an actor that went out to do a nice filmed handshake meeting with the guy from Ukraine. I mean, the hypocrisy is off the scales in Hollywood, but we're used to that. You know, it's been that way for a long time. And you could even say Gene's a little bit hypocritical here, but I don't disagree with him. I thought it was funny how he was saying Mark Buffalo or rhymes. How do you say his last name? It was kind of funny. And Mark Ruffalo is one of those who is out there on the front lines. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
he's
exactly.
a true believer, you know?
Well, he's part of that old class where you actually see him on the picket lines. No,
Yeah, like
news,
Susan
you know,
Sarandon and yeah.
Martin Sheen. Like,
Yep.
let's go with the, you know, and I used to respect that a lot.
Yeah.
I just have tuned out. You know, I just have tuned out on celebrities and you know, one of the things that I had said for young actors like Rachel is, if you're so inclined to give your opinions to back up a cause, do me a favor. If I was your manager, here's what I would do. Go do it anonymously.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody know. Do it for a couple of years. Just give and sacrifice some of your time. Go feed the homeless. Go give to that charity. No cameras. Right? Because other than that, you're all you're doing is performing in front of a camera.
It's performative. You're absolutely right.
You know, it's half measures avail us nothing, right?
Yeah.
So that was some of my
Well,
beliefs.
that's even a biblical thing. Like if you're giving charity or whatever, you don't show it off to everybody what you're doing. You do it. Otherwise, the only blessing you get from that is the applause you get for showing
But how
off.
are you supposed to virtue signal if no one knows?
That's virtue.
But anyway,
exactly.
yeah. But speaking of no one knowing, we have a somewhat related story in that it has to do with Hollywood stars and the media, rather manipulating the media rather than being manipulated by it to chase controversy, as we just saw. In this case, no, it's Rebel Wilson, who has a story about her in the Hollywood Reporter. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more where that came from, and this one is ugly. Like, when I read into it, I can barely believe it myself. Now, Paulie, you've been following this. Please break it down for the audience who maybe are completely new to this. Exactly what is going on here? What has happened? Take us through it.
So, audio got leaked of a kind of like a fixer who works with PR companies. And this fixer told this Rebels PR team, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna, in regards to this producer, you're going to connect her to sex trafficking, right?
So
And
basically, just conjure up some accusations of sex trafficking.
yeah. So at one point in the private conversation, Wallace references the involvement of power lawyer Friedman's, Wilson's then counsel, in the plan. So this is also Baldoni's. This is just like multi-tiered here, guys.
It's huge.
This is multi-tiered.
What's the different
Right.
tiers? Take us through it for those who are completely new to the story.
Okay, well, let's go. Let's just in recording obtained by the Hollywood Reporter, digital fixer Jed Wallace instructed top entertainment publicist Melissa Nathan to assert without evidence that the producer Amanda Ghost is a madam whose work involved procuring young women for wealthy and powerful men. And they have the audio.
So basically, this is Rebel Wilson's PR team who have an agreement with a producer of one of Rebel Wilson's movies. And they clearly want to utterly destroy this producer by fabricating a story that this producer is a sex trafficker, that she's basically another Ghislaine Maxwell, and putting that out there just to destroy her. Is that the gist of the story?
So, and then the lawyer for Ghost said Rebel Wilson has repeatedly denied any involvement in the creation of the smear websites, not just on television, but in her sworn legal testimony. We, however, have had long suspected that she not only contributed to the malicious sites, but that she was a driving force behind them. The evidence we have submitted in the court of California supports that conclusion. That's a lawyer for Ghost, Camille Vasquez.
You know where Camille Vasquez is from.
I was just going to say, you guys know who Camille Vasquez is?
That's the Johnny Depp's attorney.
I was about to say, yeah, this is the next high-profile case here. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
So, of course, a lot of these people have declined to comment. Court filings in August 2024 exchange naming Friedman and Wallace, Nathan discussing plans with Case to implement a digital campaign targeting Ghost, who was then engaged in an escalating legal battle with Wilson over the actress's directorial debut, The Deb. So basically, quote, Rebel wants one of those sites, Nathan texts. It can be really, really harsh. And then link it to Jed's voice thing later. She says, Jed and Brian asking me for copy, LOL, kill me. You want me to go on?
Yeah, no, I think we have the gist of it here. I have to say, like, what?
This is extensive. Like, this article is extensive. This is a major exclusive that the Hollywood Reporter got.
Yeah, this is something that we'll be covering in detail. I think this is just the opening salvo for something that's going to be very.
Basically, there was a fallout. So there was a fallout between Ghost's
the producer
AI
and
film or whatever, the studio that she was working on with Rebel Wilson. So some kind of fallout, and then Rebel Wilson decided her crisis team to create these websites that smear Amanda Ghost, and then in a countersuit against Amanda Ghost, her countersuit documents included links to the websites that Rebel had been behind making. So she was kind of using her own smear that was created whole cloth in order to countersue against Ghost so she could win, so she would prevail. And of course, as soon as those links showed up, Amanda Ghost is like, where did these come from? And they dug into it, and it turns out that, well, she's alleging that Rebel Wilson, who looks like an Ozempic spokesperson, has created those websites to smear Ghost so that she could countersue effectively.
Here's one more great quote from Vasquez. Explained that any litigator's involvement in commissioning such smear sites would constitute, quote, a profound abuse of power and a betrayal of the lawyer's role in the justice system. She added, secretly engineering false or misleading narratives to intimidate, discredit, or pressure an opponent crosses the line from zealous advocacy to misconduct. When a professionally orchestrated smear campaign is weaponized in litigation, it distorts the legal process itself by polluting the fact-finding mission, influencing witnesses and the public, and attempting to win through reputation harm than evidence and law. I mean, I would not want to go up against Vasquez.
No,
Wow.
me either.
Woo!
She's hardcore.
Good for Ghost for getting Vasquez. You know what? Isn't that funny?
Absolutely.
Look, isn't that funny? Good, and you know what? Good for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is going to be saving a lot of women's careers here.
Yeah.
You know, no, for real, because you know he never backed down, and he always was honest with his own shit. But you know, Amber Heard screwed over Amber Heard. Nobody else.
I'm curious about who leaked the audio, right? So it's either a disgruntled employee who normally kept these voice notes, right, during a meeting, or maybe someone got, I don't know, subpoenaed, maybe.
Well,
about
maybe someone grew a conscience, because
in
I mean,
Hollywood,
this
I don't know.
recording. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is pretty serious stuff.
Yeah.
You are accusing someone of human trafficking completely out of the blue. I mean, this is someone who's determined to utterly destroy someone. Now, I do not know exactly what kind of legal fallback team Rebel Wilson is facing here, or indeed, if Rebel Wilson is nailed to this, what kind of legal repercussions she will be getting. But I hope they're bad, because this is pretty hefty. This is something that has like irked me for quite some time. It's like basically how women can make false accusations left and right about things that would land a man in jail for up to a decade, and they get away scot-free, no repercussions whatsoever. Well, in this case, it's false, very serious false accusations against another woman, which means it's not going to get dismissed. I mean, this thing,
and I think Amanda Ghost is Indian too, because what they were trying to do is there's also a Microsoft Word document that the attorneys have gotten that has notes about these smear campaigns and smear websites, and one of them is referring to her as the Indian Ghislaine Maxwell.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So then you have a racial component here as well. Better and better.
That's huge. Yeah. Yeah. So it all kind of started because I think that Wilson back in 2 or 3 years ago had accused Amanda Ghost of some financial inappropriation, you know, but also things, and get this, she accused her of bathing with the lead actress, Charlotte McInnes. So there might also be some LGBTQ component to this.
Wow.
This is high drama. High drama.
And like Andre said, this is the prologue.
Yeah.
For a Hollywood reporter to print this, you got to understand, guys, it's tip of iceberg. And you know, this business does sick things to people, man. You know, it's really unfortunate because she was a talent back in the day. And, you know, I'm surprised that I still get surprised.
Rebel,
well, that's because you're still human.
Rebel Wilson was in what, that Bride Hard, I think was her last movie.
Oh, the Bridesmaids.
Her last movie, Bride Hard.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it. I only saw her in that one thing.
Well, The Dead came out in 2024, and so apparently, as we've dug into this, the producers first sued Wilson. The producers of the movie, this Ghost, sued Wilson for defamation over social media posts that Wilson made. And then that's when Wilson countersued for fraud, theft, and misconduct. So the initial lawsuit was from Ghost over things that were being said, apparently about this bathing with the lead actress stuff. And even that actress wound up suing Wilson for defamation. And then AI Film sued for breach and sabotage, stalling distribution of the movie. So this has gone sideways.
Very much so.
Ugly.
Yeah.
I see a whole line of Midnight's Edge videos on this.
Oh, I see them too. I'm already planning them. So yeah,
Here we go. Here we go.
that'll be fun.
Beautiful.
Well, yeah.
Beautiful.
Let's go through some more super chats, see what
Yeah.
you guys are saying, because yeah, again, this is just the opening salvo, and this dropped so recently. We haven't had time to digest this in detail, because as Paulie was saying, it's an extensive article. We've only had time to go through the gist of it, but more will be coming. Packing Proton says for $5, I want to hear Paulie's real-life poltergeist ghost story from Paramount Pictures now.
So in the walking tour that I told you guys about at Paramount Studios, remember we were talking earlier this week about the possible Ellison theme parks. So one of them is going to go down. And I said that they actually, at Paramount Studios, they have these existing walking tours, which were really cool. And I shared some photos. One of the sound stages is that we went through, and this was the Halloween edition to the tour, which is why we went through the cemetery, the Forever Now cemetery. So they told ghost stories on the lot. Like these are like ghost stories that on the lot, and that God rest her soul, Heather Rourke, the poltergeist little girl. Remember the actor?
Yes, yeah.
That
sadly no longer with us.
Right, and there's a lot there. That her spirit haunts this particular soundstage. When we were walking through, we were like, "Great, thanks for telling us. Let's get out and out of here." But that there was, incidences here and there, stuff. Yeah. So that was pretty scary. Great tour, man. Especially if you're into that ghost story stuff, Hollywood old ghost stories. Oof.
Yeah, that's what the thing. And then Packing Protons also wonders, who's that weird guy pretending to be Tom? Well, that would be Bob Chapek, who we got in.
That was Tom. I think he was referring to how Tom appeared earlier. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And Grimzilla also points out Saskatchewan. Guys, pronounce it for me. Saskatchewan. Yeah. It's the biggest producer of fertilizer. Yeah, well, you need fertilizer as well. Yeah. Yeah, you know, Ukraine is also a pretty significant producer of fertilizer. Don't knock it, because that's you do need that for farming. And Packing Protons also says, isn't the Canadian 100 worth like $5?
Nice.
A little bit more than that.
It's like worth $70-something. Yeah, it's not bad.
We do appreciate it, though.
I was like $76. That's a lot of money.
To Rob Thunderheart, the sponsor of today's stream.
Packing Protons is just jabbing Canadians.
Yeah, we got a lot of super chats today. Wow.
Yeah. Valentine Puppy also says, Chato cheated on Midnight's Edge with Film Thread. Oh, that's all good. We love Film Thread.
It's an open relationship. It's an open relationship. Yeah.
Totally. So, yeah. Jason Webster also says, breaking news. Mark Ruffalo convalescing after he was attacked by ostriches at LA Zoo. According to one eyewitness, well, he ruffled a few feathers. Oh. Yeah. And then Snarky the Stink gifted 5 Midnight's Edge memberships, and we thank you so much. And he said for an additional $10, the old mystery that surrounded celebrities was part of the film Allure. Now many of them plaster us with who they are, for better or worse. Mostly worse, and is terrible for the industry. Yeah. Those were the days when celebrities were living in a magical faraway land, mysterious people who you didn't know anything about. And
Like children, they should be seen, not heard.
very often this is the case. Yeah. Packing Protons has a quote from Chevy Chase. This just in. New Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei is still dead.
Classic.
Indeed. And Packing Protons says HW was always an activist. Elizabeth Montgomery got good Darren replaced with a fruity guy no one liked after his accident, and Dora hated the new guy. Yeah, there is that. And then we have Bass Player who says for $4.99, she'll be in the doghouse for a few years. Might teach her some humility and deflate her ego. As for Gene, he's in it for a buck, that's it. Well, he's a little bit in everything. So don't underestimate him and all of that. But as for Rebel Wilson, I think she's not going to be in the doghouse for a few years. I think she's going to be in court for a few years. And after that, we'll see about that doghouse. I'm very excited about the opportunities that this presents for some great coverage, because this is quite the story. Wow, this has everything. And Dark King says celebrities are allowed their opinions and can express them. They just need to remember that Republicans also buy shoes. Very, very true. Of course, no one has said that they can't express themselves, but it's a matter of when do you express yourself and in what venue. Now, of course, when you have a platform is typically when you have a big movie that is opening. But maybe that is not the best time to spread your personal brand of activism while you are promoting something that someone else put hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into. Maybe then is not the time. Maybe if you were to start a blog or do your own podcast that is completely unrelated to big Hollywood projects, do it in your spare time between, maybe then you people would care. Because the reason why so many care is because it gets conflicted when you have the activism getting conflated with big Hollywood productions, and thereby tainting those productions. That's when people get annoyed.
It'd be one thing if the movie or project you were doing was like The West Wing or something political, and then they want to ask about your politics. Great. Or if, let's say, you're doing a religious film or project and they want to ask about religion or whatever. But, politics and religion are going to divide people. I mean, they just are. Let's talk about my favorite dessert. Let's talk about how much fun I had on this movie. Let's talk about, you want to bring up my past? Yeah, I said some regrettable things I wish I hadn't, but I don't want to really focus on that. I want to focus on the project at hand. I want to promote that.
Yeah.
I love all our fans. I love all Disney fans,
So, yeah, you wonderfully put, Chris, because I earlier had said Jen Ortega is a master class at this. And I wanted to, just kind of going off of your coattails here. And what I mean by that is her projects, when she talks about her projects, Beetlejuice, Wednesday, she talks about her love for it. She talks about what we did differently. She's, she gives you insight. She's authentic. So when she gives it a political opinion here and there, right? Whether we agree with it or not, it's like, you know what? She gets the pass because she's authentic and she's a classy lady. She's a class act.
Yeah.
And that's really a hard thing to balance nowadays. And where Ziegler obviously didn't do that.
Well, and for Ziegler versus Ortega, obviously it's a stark difference, like you said. But Ortega versus someone like De Niro, I mean, it's high relief. I mean, it's just like this is how you do it. And even I would say above Ortega are people like who you referenced, gosh, I'm only thinking Doogie Howser. My name doesn't.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris, and guys like Tom Cruise or whoever who just say, that's not something I want to get into. That's not why I'm even here right now, right? So I think actors ought to be able to state their feelings on things if they want to. I just think that sometimes, particularly with Zegler, she's one of them. Even Ruffalo, I think, handles it better than she does, right? I mean, because if you are going to be a true believer, you certainly don't need to be coy and goofy or trollish about it. And it's definitely, you don't want to say something like, oh yeah, I'm doing the new Batman movie. Have you seen those old comics? Weird, those aren't what we're doing. We're doing something completely unknown to what the people who love that franchise are going to do. That's terrible. So again, if we have to say anything else about her, my thought is she just needs a good handler. She needs somebody that's okay. Rachel, we got to go over here now. Let's go. Cause I know that kind of question is not going to go over well. And we need to keep you quiet, young lady.
Yeah. And they especially don't need to get her going. And this is where, just to finish the secular discussion and move on, we have a couple of other super chats here. I still blame Disney because they were the ones that not only gave her those talking points, they explicitly hired an activist for an activist production. An activist are going to
I didn't know she was activist. I mean, the West Side Story thing.
That's why she was hired. She was hired for that whole reason.
Because the other final person was another Latina, but she's not an activist. She's not.
They hired her because she was.
That's right. I remember you guys telling
me. Which is why on that one, I think that Rachel Zegler, she gets a bum rap. She was hired to do just that. She did everything that was in the job description. The only thing that wasn't was when you got into the Palestine thing, and they say, okay, when we said activist, we wanted you to be, but not in this thing. But you can't switch it off. When you get an activist, activists are activists. That's what they do. So yeah, I have no sympathy with her, Disney, in that whatsoever, because she did everything she was supposed to do. And then, of course, the mission changed later on. But she did what she signed on to do, which was to be an activist, because it was an activist movie through and through, from activist producers and activist writers. She was just part of the package.
And look at what being such a hardcore activist gets you. When it's your property, when it's your project, you directed or you produced or you executive produced it. Maggie Gyllenhaal, $90 million, The Bride, massive flop, right? Which, and it hurts more because look, well, you mouthed off, you gave your opinions, you made this whatever it is. Especially when you were giving your interviews, when I decided to direct is the day Trump got into office. It's like, man, ain't no one going to see your shit. No one's going to go see your movie now, dog.
You talking about Saggy? You talking about Saggy?
Oh, Saggy. There's something to be said about you work hard on this film that you executive produce, that you bring to the table. I think it would be a great lesson if these people who did that, right, and give their opinions, to see it all go down the toilet, and you bet your career on it, and you're done for years.
You just never know how it's going to resonate when you say something like that, because if you get into your feelings and you say something just like with Gene and Arnold over the vaccines, I think the blowback on that was so intense. And they were probably like, oh gosh, I didn't think anybody was I thought that was just a tiny little 2% of the country that thought like that.
That's the problem with being in an echo chamber.
That's right. That's
you don't realize that you are the 2%er.
Yep. Everything that those people are saying, the people around them, most of them are just yes men or women or whatever, Yeah,
exactly.
I can keep going. I know we want to. Let's continue.
Sorry. Dark Knight, way to go.
Good job, Dark Knight.
ActionCom says for $10. Come on, the man who started this in-your-face Hollywood politics is Michael Moore. From his outburst at the Oscars to his university tours, he set the template of annoying celeb politicking. Well, yeah, he didn't start it. He just took it to a different level. He changed the game, but he didn't start it. I mean, like Jane Fonda predates him, and there were others like her. So yeah, no, like let's give credit where credit is due.
There are, but that is a good point for the modern activists in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That is a good template for the modern is what you're seeing now is people crossing the line. So many places, right? Where there is no, there is no civility there.
Yeah, indeed. And Darth Maul's lower half says for €2, Rachel threw the first stone by attacking Gina. That also didn't.
Not only Gina Carano, but Jeremy Renner. We're talking like these tweets. I think Rachel was still a tween, still a teenager.
Yeah.
Who's really into you. Listen, man, you're totally right, Darth Maul. Right? But she's not the only kid like that of her generation.
She's a theater kid. Yeah,
that's what I'm just saying. A theater kid, activist, protect our gay friends, our trans friends.
Yeah,
So I'm not saying give her a pass. I'm just saying that.
Right.
Are you really surprised?
A feral cat is going to scratch. So that's what she is. She did. I didn't know that.
For her own sake, I mean, we keep going back to for her own sake. If she plans to have a career, she needs to grow up big time.
Yeah,
she needs to grow up big time. She could have a long career just singing Broadway level. She never has to do another movie again.
Fantastic singer and a lovely, lovely woman, appearance wise. Right when she's dolled up, she looks really cute and. She could have a great career. Yeah.
I think a lot of people find her attractive.
My advice to her is to hire a manager that you will trust, who also is not afraid to tell you things you don't want to hear or agree with.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing with a lot of celebrities is that they don't have that grounded person who's not afraid to voice their opinion because they'll get fired from them. It's like you can't even have someone hired. You've got to have like a family member, an old friend.
A spouse is a good thing to have in that regard, right? Because your spouse will tell you how it is, or your kids. And I don't think she has either. Just like Rebel Wilson has no spouse. No,
it needs to be someone that can keep you grounded. Whoever it can be, anyone. It just needs to someone that has your best interest at heart, and who loves you enough to tell you the truth, even when it hurts.
You always got to have. I think that's just a smart thing to have. Period. In this business, is that grounded person who to say, hey, don't forget to send that fruit basket to that casting director that got you that role. I'm always telling Romy that, because Romy's old school, right? She's like, I just want to act. I can't stand social media. I don't even like going to events with other actors. Like you gotta schmooze a little bit, you gotta schmooze a little bit.
Yeah, if you love acting, you got to do what's required to keep acting.
A little bit. It's you got to keep those relationships strong with producers, directors, and writers. You don't need to hang out with other actors. I always say that to actors: don't hang out with other actors. Don't go party with other actors. You're not here for that. You've come from a small town in Tennessee, a small town out of Idaho, to Hollywood. Don't hang out with other actors.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, the other actors, they can't give you a job, but if they have the opportunity, they'll backstab you to take it from you.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah,
still happens to this day.
Yeah. Moving on though, Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle donated 5 memberships, and we thank you for that. Joe Pat says for $1.99, when Universal realized #it's the Windows dummy. Yeah, indeed. And Packing Protons says, hopefully celebs don't talk about the Great Pumpkin. Well, I'm sure there's plenty other things to talk and not talk about. Also, In the Shade says for $2, y'all ignored Ortega's comments about white men. Well, we can't keep track on every comment.
I don't
Everyone is
think
going
those
to make some
comments were
stupid
that
comment.
bad, honestly. As a white man,
What was it that you said again?
she said something like she was trying to look like she could play cello, I think, in a role, and the teacher or mentor, whoever she was learning from, said something like, you just have to do this, you have to do that, and just basically have the confidence of the average white man. Now, I don't know if that was sort of a jab at white guys that maybe we're as a monolithically overconfident. I don't know, but I didn't really think that was a
Yeah,
racist comment.
if that's
my
the
wife has
worst thing, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, because my wife, believe me, she has said to me, honey, you ain't got the moves of a good black man dancer, right? Whenever I'm kind of doing some moves, you ain't got the rhythm of the average black man. She's not a racist, but it's a private little joke. You know, maybe Ortega should have known better than to say anything racially, because it's also loaded, you know, and triggering.
Well, you're saying that the cello teacher said that to Jenna. So Jenna just repeated that in an interview?
Well, Jenna said she got a lot of peace from that. She never forgot that because that helped her thinking in those terms, right?
I see that as a compliment to white
I
people.
kind of do.
Yeah, exactly. I
White
don't see
men.
the problem.
I mean,
I
unless
don't see the problem
there's
here.
something that
Right.
I'm missing, I think that's the only thing.
See-
Had you heard that before, Paulie?
Listen, man, listen. That's kind of like in our kind of like in our culture, as far as just competing or finding your place in this society. It's like, act like a gringo, like, like, hey man, but it's not a put down. It's like, well, shit, they built stuff, they ran stuff, they're running stuff, they're creating stuff. You belong just like anyone else. I think it's more that.
Yeah.
Of course, the media will take that, but let's just say Jenna like said something to that where, yeah, white men. It doesn't bother me.
I think we can all move. I think
Yeah.
we
One
can,
last thing on that,
we
Andre,
can
is
I
that
think we all will be able to survive and move on.
It was just a way to approach life. And, if
Mhm.
you are not a white person, but someone tells you you should try to approach everything in life with the confidence of the average white man, maybe that might be a backhanded compliment to white men. I mean, I don't know, but you can say that about a lot of different things. And sometimes stereotypes are good analogies if you're just giving private personal advice to someone. I mean, I don't think this is that. I don't know. I don't want to dismiss the complaint, and that may not be the incident that they're referring to, but I think that's
well, reading the context that you put behind the scenes here, Chris, I was like, dude, there ain't nothing to take offense to here.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry to my brown lefty friends. White men have opened more doors for me in my life than anyone else. And
Wow.
it is what it is. They're just good men. Right? They're
Yeah.
just good men.
Indeed.
And that's the thing, is that you keep breaking it down. Oh, well, have the confidence of white men. Oh yeah, man, the white man and this and that. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. Race, religion, politics, they're all so triggering and divisive now.
Very
I wish we
triggering,
could all
man.
just kind of go back to when we didn't have social media and people could just say what they wanted and be chill and get along. And I don't know. It's a different era.
Well, you're right, because you go out in your neighborhood. Who are your neighbors? Who you're taking care of? Who looks after you? There's people of all different backgrounds, man. Come on, get in the real world, guys.
My next door neighbor to the left is a great black family. He and I compete against one another, cutting our yards, right? So if he ever gets his grass cut before me, I'm out there the next day or whatever cutting mine. If I ever cut mine, he's got an electric riding mower. He's out there the same day. It's like he very well manicured yards. Right on the other side, it's a old lady that's been there since the neighborhood was built. Over here, I got a long-haired old hippie couple. They're great. I don't ask any of these people their politics. I don't care. These are neighbors. Love your neighbor. It's a community. The whole world's a community. I think though that I say all that, but sometimes I feel like if you are espousing things that might be dangerous, or you're saying things that are just fantastically divisive, or going to potentially anger people, or just completely wrong, if you have the ability to say something back to those people, I think you should. All right. But why get into those conversations with your neighbors? Right. That's all.
Indeed. Very good points. And with that note of peace, we are actually completely caught up. I checked. I don't think we received anything in the green machine. If we did, I'll have to get back to that. But I can't see that there is anything there. But we appear to be fully caught up. So thanks to everyone for watching, and a special thanks to Rod Thunderhot, the sponsor of today's video or today's stream, with a series of super chats that ultimately were about USA oil-backed psyops going on in Canada. So yeah, we'll have to get into that when we have a Canadian on standby. This is not something that I know top of my head, but we'll get into that in due course. But until then, Paulie, where can people find you? Got any plans going forward?
Well, I just want to say, as a newfound white man, I feel seen.
You feel represented?
I do. I'm finally going to be taken seriously when I go to the bank. Fletcher Williams, the great Fletcher Williams, has his Friday Fiesta today, 4 p.m. Pacific, with Dante Verbal Riot as his special guest. They're going to have a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Apparently Taco Bell is trying to take over the taco business in Mexico. So that, among other things, they're going to have fun talking about.
That sounds like quite the hostile takeover, or some kind of cultural appropriation. It's what it sounds like to me. But yeah. Chris, how about you? Anything happening over at Bleeding Fool that people should have part of as their daily reading schedule?
They should, yeah. We've got it's really a fun blog that's on the front page right now, talking about a link between Iran, Top Gun, and Star Wars. So I hope everyone will check that out over at bleedingfool.com. We've got some more stories coming up, but to me, that's probably your fun read that you owe it to yourself to go check that out. It's by one of my favorite contributors, A.H. Lloyd. Very smart guy. He's also an author of both historical books and historical fiction. But he really studies history, and he really pulls some nice nuggets there. And, this weekend is not this weekend, but next weekend is the 40th anniversary of a movie called Rad. Anybody remember that BMX movie, Rad?
Vaguely, yes.
It's doing a cinematic re-release next weekend. So this weekend we kind of talk about it. So check out bleedingfool.com. We're also on X at bleedingfool, and you can look at here. I'll spout off about politics over at Chris Brawley on X.
There you go.
And also check out Real Nordic Noir, where I will spout off about politics as well, from an angle you maybe haven't seen. And we just dropped 2 videos, actually 2 old recycled Midnight's Edge videos, on the making of Dustborn, the most anti-American game ever made, funded by Norwegian taxpayer money. How could that be? For those that want a reminder of that, head on over to the Real Nordic Noir to check that out while we wait for other new videos to drop. Dude, there's a lot to go on there. We also got the last minute Rumble rant from Garvin Ambrose, who says for $5, I told Tom I wouldn't send a late rant. I lied. Well,
I lied.
Much appreciated. Fantastic stuff. All right. With that, everyone, it is time to wish you all a great weekend. Check back over the course of the weekend. We will have videos dropping. And now let's roll
Wait.
out
And remember, reminder, Monday, back to the original time.
that
right.
that is the plan. That is the plan. Yes.
Okay.
And for
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koalas in the rain.